Welcome to the documentary. We're going to talk about a couple key topics, man. Take a journey. The journey's going to lead us to interviewing a lot of people who are really in the streets right now going through this, the everyday life of a black man and a black woman. The key topics are Black Lives Matter, police brutality. We're going to talk about the natural hair on a woman. We're going to talk about uplifting a black man, uplifting a black woman. The main thing that we're going to talk about in this journey is liberation, how to get liberated. Liberation means basically us not depending on others for our way of life. And my main thing is that it's capitalism. Capitalism will get us liberated because we will be dependent on ourselves. And that comes for any kind of liberation comes from supporting black business. When we support our own, the doors are wide open. There's nothing we cannot do. So we're gonna dive into on some interviews, man, and really get into the streets and get a feel for what's going on.
Hey, what's up, man? Again, you already know ShaBazz. We here with
Quincy Blake.
Alright, y'all tell me a little bit of your story.
2 years ago, I was illegally arrested and detained. Spent 45 days in jail, all for a lie. Police are allowed to lie, but we aren't. But taking this opportunity, I'm not gonna, use it as a crutch, but I'm gonna use it as motivation, and try to fight for injustice and try to bring equality back. I'm out here today at the rally, and I'm just trying to do my part.
New Orleans, Louisiana, unarmed. September 14th, 2013, Jonathan Farrell, Charlotte, North Carolina, unarmed. July 17th, 2014, Eric Garner, Staten Island, New York, unarmed. August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown, Ferguson, Missouri, unarmed. In the past decade alone, these men and hundreds of others have lost their lives to police. Local police report to the FBI killing at least 400 people a year. From 2006 to 2012, a white police officer killed a black person at least twice a week.
The Sterling case where a man got killed on live TV. And just imagine that pushing to a black man's head or a black woman's head psychologically. You're seeing your people being slaughtered on live TV. And it's something about that when you keep seeing it come over and over and over again, it gets stuck in your head. It's kind of like when you're studying. When you're studying, you read, you write it, and you repeat. You read, you write it, repeat, and it gets stuck in your head. You know what I'm saying? That's how you learn. That's how the brain functions. Same thing with this. If you see an image and it keeps popping up your head, and then you see the same cycle, images, people get mad, people protest, circle around. Images, people get mad, people protest, circles around. You get stuck in your head like, dang, I guess my life really doesn't matter as much as other people's lives. And that's the thing about Black Lives Matter, man. They're basically trying to say, you know what? Everybody wants to live. Everybody has a family. Everybody has loved ones.
Like wanting to sorry, I think people be too focused on. I don't want them to say sorry to us. I don't be caring about that kind of stuff.
It's not even about them acknowledging us at this point.
They're not going to acknowledge us. I don't care about that. But even
because they know what they're doing.
But even if they do, it's like the reason they for me.
We take it over. That's the problem. They don't want us to be great, but we gonna be great.
But even though I don't care about no sorry, I'm more about liberation. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be liberated. That's all I worry about. Everything else, they'll come in time. I don't care about no sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I want my kids to go to wherever you teaching at. Real talk. But that was one thing I wanted to ask you, regarding your teaching, are you gonna be an example as well? Because I know that teachers, you guys have a curriculum that you guys have to follow.
This is what I do. So I have an agenda of things where I teach, and what I do is I'm teaching.
Go ahead and surrender the country because it's ours in the first
history, right?
Yeah, I teach history, so I go with civil rights, but also add in different things. I add in Cedar Chavez for the Mississippi, I add in Angela Davis for.
So you can kind of tweak it.
So we tweak a little bit, but I just let them know everything.
You need to know your history.
Yeah, I let them know everything. Right. So when I teach, I stay on the agenda, but I teach the whole thing. I don't leave out anything. If they want to know something, I tell them the truth. They want to know about the KKK, I teach them. Hey, it started in church. You know what I'm saying? I let them know, and it's what it is.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
Because here's the thing, there's no fallacy in the truth. If you fucking tell them the truth, you don't have to worry about what they're gonna do to me. It's the truth.
So what do you think is next for us as a people?
As a people, that's a good question. I think blacks have to do a couple of things to change where we are right now.
first thing we have to do is stop being scared of being unified. We have a lot of different ethnic groups and a lot of different blacks that come from a lot of different cultures, but we are so worried on focusing on a difference between all of us and not focusing on how we are unified. You have Jamaicans, you have Haitians, you have blacks from Cuba, you have blacks in South America, you have blacks in America, you have freaking Africans, a lot of different countries in Africa, and it's kind of like we are all so worried about how we are different, we're not understanding we are all the same. If you put me next to a German black person or next to a Jamaican black person, we all look alike, we all have the same skin, so we need to understand that the bigger issue is us staying unified, because it's power in numbers. 3/4 of the world is of color, so we be brothers in this whole struggle, because we all have the same kind of challenge you have to face every day.
What is liberation to you?
All right, liberation. That's my key word. That's like the word I always focus on, right? Now, what it means is this. Liberation is us depending on ourselves. There is no way we should be going to others for our goods. If you look in our neighborhoods, we go to others for our nail shop. We go to others for our beauty spot stores. We go to others for our grocery stores, all that kind of stuff. If you go in a nail shop, it's ran by other people who don't use none of them products, but we are depending on them. You know what I'm saying? For our way of life, about everything. We are the people who are always consuming things. We are a consumer. We always buy stuff. But being a consumer is bad because that means we are relying on other people. We need to start making our own businesses and not being so stuck in their ways.
Black family. Well, my black family, I come from a huge black family. Been raised in a 2-parent household. Definitely taught me that 2 black people could work together successfully in a household and, you know, manage children and, you know, pay bills and do things, you know, the right way, or what's perceived as the right way. My family was pretty much gearheaded by the women in my family. They taught me that your work ethic can pretty much take you anywhere you want to go. We did struggle, but they always taught us, you know, you don't have to look like your struggle. Pretty much we use religion as our anchor. We could have fell apart so many times. I mean, every family has their secrets, but we always relied on my grandmother's leadership, music, and religion to bring us back together again.
My black family, we weren't huge, but we're a nice size. On my maternal side, it's pretty much majority, actually on both sides, it's pretty much majority women. But I would say they emphasized success. So whatever you found a niche in or you were good in, that's what they pushed you to do, and that's what they included in their life lessons for you, so that you can be more proficient at it. I would say, even though I grew up, my mom was a single parent. My grandparents were together for 30 plus years, and so I was always taught that family comes first, and how to run a successful family, and the dynamics of it, which I think are very important. Black love. For me, black love, I don't think you can have like proper black love unless you know how to love yourself, but that kind of starts with in a black family. But so that's pretty much what I see when I think of black love. Is embracing, is you embracing yourself, and when you see it in other people, you adhering to that and bringing them in and spreading that love among them.
Black love to me has always been challenged. That's why when I see black love flourish, to me nothing is more beautiful. I think that we are so much stronger together, and no one understands us better than we understand ourselves. And that's just, to me, you know, how black love just moves. I mean, we move better when we're together. We're stronger together.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what black love entails, unity.
Mm-hmm. Why I love being black? Because being black is lit. No. No, but seriously, I love being black because it's so complex. Like, I love everything that entails with being black. I mean, my hair defies gravity. My skin absorbs sunlight. I mean, like, what else? What more can you ask for? It's just everything. The struggle of being a black woman to me is beautiful.
Yeah, I would concur on that. The reason I love being black is because, for one, I was taught that within, and then I'm a big history person. I've always excelled in history classes, and even after, school, I still read history books. So I have learned we were the first here, and from the looks that we will probably be the last here. So we're the parents of Earth itself, if you will. So that comes with a lot of responsibility, but also prestige, along with the fact that our people are pretty much invincible and unbreakable. And no matter what the struggle is, we always seem to find a way to overcome. And I think that's something pretty special.
Black Lives Matter. Honestly, the way I feel about it is we're fighting an old battle. We're just fighting it different.
Black Lives Matter to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's ridiculous that has to even be specified. But I think it's just a statement that to turn a mirror up on yourselves. If you feel like your lives matter so much, when you see a human being who goes through the same struggles and probably more than you, why is it that their lives mean less than yours, or at least that is what society shows us. But to me, Black Lives Matter is the statement not only to the world but to black people itself that you do matter as much as society may tell you don't. You do.
Hello, my name is Ashley. I'm going to be conducting an interview today with Joshua, and it's going to be on the topic Black Lives Matter. We're here in Eastern Europe where he lives. He lives in Hungary, and so we're going to be speaking about Black Lives Matter and how it affects him. All right, Joshua. So, how are you today?
Doing good. Yeah.
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Okay, I wanted to know, what do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
Okay, it's a very interesting topic, although my facts may not be really accurate. I feel the whole idea of prioritizing the black race, it's based on the fact that the black race seems underappreciated, and it's based on another fact that there's a school of thought that feels like the black race, especially in the States, in the United States, is associated with a lot of negativity. So a lot of crime, a lot of antisocial behavior, a lot of general everything negative. I mean, so a lot of cases, the average black person, the average black guy, is seen as a criminal. So basically, a guy on the street with a hoodie. He's seen as a drug addict. He's seen as a thief. You guys.
All right. So, would you say that is similar to the way black people are seen here in Eastern Europe, or is that something you guys suffer from as well? Or
I mean, the point about being black is it's quite an interesting topic. It's quite dicey. So I think a lot of times, first of all, depends on the person, or it depends on who is looking at you or what they see in you. So, for instance, if I generally, I think appearance has a role to play. So definitely, if I'm going to go to a place, if I'm going to step into a hotel with a very clean suit, like a $20,000 suit, I don't think the first thought would be that I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be taken for a fraudster, but I would not be. I may be seen also as a successful black person. You get it? So if I go into a hotel with a very crazy hairstyle, and then I have this crazy hoodie and a lot of tattoos, and I mean, people tend to associate certain appearance with. So I feel a lot of times they judge the black people first of all based on appearance before they even begin to speak or interact with them.
Okay. So now that leads me to want to ask you, do you think that their appearance is based off of culture? Like, what if this is a cultural appearance? And what if it may be perceived as crazy to a different culture, but it might be culturally right with them. Like their appearance may be culturally right. Maybe this culture wears a certain type of shirt or a certain type of haircut. Like guys, you know, back in the 90s, guys wore braids. So, but guys of other races didn't wear braids. So that's what I'm saying. So do you think it's other cultures being defensive of a cultural appearance?
I think that, definitely that has a role to play. I mean, yeah. It's I could use an example here. A lot of times when the people when white people here see black people doing things they are not used to, which is common among black, which is like the cultural thing among some among a specific nationality, let's say a specific African community, they tend to see it as weird. So yeah, definitely culture has a role to play in association. Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, I want to ask you about how does the African or black community interact with each other here?
Oh, interesting. I mean, it varies from place to place, varies from country to country. I've been in a couple of places, like I mean, here in the capital.
Here.
Oh, here in the capital city. Yes. I'd say it's not the best, but it's a work in progress, because there a lot of times once you see a black person, once you see someone who's African, right, you know he's African, so you just have this informal way of greeting, and then I think it's a bit cordial. It's not the best. I mean, there are a lot of things that can be put in place to make it better. So
okay, what do you think sets the divide that is present to where it's not the best right now? Do you think it's different? You know, I would assume that it's different African countries.
That's basically the most important. That's just the best, the most defining factor, because you know, people are like, oh, I'm from this country, I'm from this country, and so you know, yeah, they tend to have this nationalistic differences, and so it kind of rubs off in the fact that the African, but I guess it shows among African community, but when they are with in the presence of white people or foreigners, and then they tend to keep this aside and be as one. So yeah, it plays a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right.